Alright, so we watched another Japanese horror movie I brought for you guys today.
Yes.
It's No More Popcorn. It's a review. We bring you stuff you haven't heard about before most of the time.
Most of it.
Most of the time. This is from 1969, Horrors of Malformed Men.
Malformed. Oh, you got your...
Oh, he's got his food. His
your
tachos.
food. Thank you very much.
Tachos.
Tachos.
Thank
Do you
you.
need anything else right now?
We're good.
Nah, I'm
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. This jalapeno is going to mess you up.
You want them
Get in there
jalapenos?
deep,
Nope.
deep in the spice.
Yeah. It's like incest.
Just like
Just
incest.
like it.
Speaking of which,
I don't know what is it with the Japanese and the incest. See, well, long before Pornhub,
Yeah.
the Japanese had a lock on incest, creepiness, also lactation.
Yeah, lactation, half-sisters, crazy women, masturbating in cells.
Not masturbating in cells, masturbating in.
In a cell.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I identify with that.
I wish they could do that to me.
mainstream it. Mainstream it.
Let's take these shots.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Not in our usual spot. We're gonna make it work as long as nobody comes out here. Okay, so this is an Ishii film, Teruo Ishii,
Yes.
a well-known, a famous horror film director from 60s and 70s in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
He did other classics such as Shogun's Joy of Torture,
Did you do Orgies at Edo?
Orgies of Ito.
I
is
have
another
that one. I still haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, we might do that. It's like 3 short stories,
Okay,
so
yeah.
it's a little different.
Yeah.
But he definitely he's into body horror, erotic, psychosexual.
He does a great job at it once he
Yeah.
gets into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This one is it's like part psychological horror, like mystery,
Yeah.
and then it goes straight into the fucking weird body.
Yeah.
It's not really gory; it's just fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we start off our main character. I don't remember his fucking name. Whatever. He's a doctor.
We're going to call him John.
John. He's
Good old John.
he's in an insane asylum.
How did I get here? I don't remember.
And he's imagining all this fucking crazy shit that happened to him when he was a kid. He's
Yeah.
seeing like, oh, a woman, but then she has a man's face, and he's like freaking out about that. He's seeing these cliffs on the beach, and he's seeing this vision of this fucking creepy looking Jesus figure kind of character with web hands,
Just dancing around.
doing this like thing
In his
along
robe.
the beach. The scene's so nice they did it twice in the movie. Shot for shot, they just replayed the same scene.
His dad's never aged or one day.
Not
Yeah.
a second.
So he's got these weird memories that are fucking with him. Well, he's in this. We gotta condense this story.
Yeah.
Down. There's too much that happens. But he's in there, and this fucking bald weirdo that keeps eyeing him.
I thought
Yeah,
it
mean
to me
mugging.
looked like he wasn't mean about. He was just minding his own business.
Well, that's
but-
part of the thing. It
yeah.
starts off, you're like, is this guy actually fucking insane,
Right,
or
yeah.
what's going on? You don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of leaves that, and I really like that ambiguity of, is he insane? Is he not insane? What's what he's seeing actually what's happening? But yes, this guy tries to kill him in his little cell, and he ends up killing him instead. He chokes him to death. He runs out. He escapes from this asylum.
Yeah,
He meets this girl who's singing this song he recognizes.
yeah, a
right?
lullaby that it's sang to.
Yeah.
I assume every child in Japan.
No, that's the thing. It's only he's like, I've never heard this before
Yeah.
anywhere else, and she's like, it's from my seaside village.
Yeah, my mom sang it to me and gave me away to a carny.
Yeah, here's the clue: seaside village in whatever town of Tokyo, east of Tokyo or whatever.
Yep.
And so he runs off to this town, and as he's on his way, he sees in a newspaper that this rich dude has died. This guy looks exactly like him.
Just like him.
Yeah,
I mean, literally just like him.
weird.
So he hatches this plan he digs up this guy's, but he's watching the funeral happen. He fakes his own suicide. He puts his like notebook and his shoes by the seashore, and then he goes and
Oh, he checks his feet because he's got the original swastika, whatever, the reverse swastika.
It's the Indian.
Before the
symbol of
swastika
power,
was swastika,
Yeah.
it was just
on his foot.
a Buddhist symbol thing.
When he gets a lot of clues from another blind masseuse of non-sword fighting fame, which leads him, he had this, she's rubbing his feet, you have the exact same scar that this guy that just
rich
died
man.
did.
And I happen to look just like him.
Yeah.
So he fucking
feel like him.
He digs up his body, takes his clothes, and just fucking lays on top of his grave and waits for these monks to find him. This is where you start to see a lot of the humor coming into this movie, because at first it's just kind of
I
it's
thought
creepy,
you were dead.
a little weird, but these fucking monks come in and it almost becomes slapstick humor. Where the one monk
tries to kiss him.
Does kiss him, and then he fucking falls on his body, and he's like leaned over, and he's like, "Oh,"
Yeah,
and he's like,
and this wasn't like an unintentional kiss. Like the monk is leaning.
The monk
in
literally
for
goes in.
Yeah,
for it. Yeah. There's this whole thing where they're like, "Go back to heaven, go back to heaven."
Yeah.
And he's kind of he's sort of half walking around, but not like acting like he's almost like a zombie kind of thing.
Oh, what was it? The monk was trying to get with the maid chick.
Yeah,
we
this
used
whole
to
thing
date
with the doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to date a while back. It's fine.
I'll give her to you now.
She just starts making out with the monk.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, she's my bitch. You want her?
Yeah.
You can have her." It's like to the doctor while he's laying there pretending to be half dead. But anyway, it goes to him being in this household, and he's trying to figure out how he should act like this guy, and he's like trying to find clues, like, he was left-handed, so he has to try to act like he's got.
Starts reading a paper without glasses.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, you don't need your glasses anymore." Well, actually, I do.
I totally do.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
that you brought up, lack of oxygen during that time. Some things must have got fixed, and I don't remember you.
Yeah, he should have just said he lost his memory. It would have been so much easier. But he's here, and now he's in this house, and all the women are trying to bang him.
What
his
to do?
His wife, his mistress.
It's so terrible.
You got the lesbian maids going at
the
it.
harem. Concubines.
I did like when he was like strolling around the house, and he's just looking room to room, and they're all asleep, and just rubbing on each other. He's like,
Yeah, the maids, like one maid puts her leg over the other one, and starts stroking, and he literally is like... He's like, "Yeah, those are my mates." He goes on. So this is a fairly long part of this movie. This movie is kind of split into two halves. You have this first half where he's trying to insert himself into this household.
Yeah, it's very mystery first
right.
half, yeah.
And there's he starts seeing these fucking weird dudes in the house.
Mm-hmm.
These malformed men, these freakish looking guys with bumpy heads and teeth sticking out and shit. They'll just be they'll do a thing and then run off or whatever.
Oh, they've seen us. We gotta run.
Climbing around in the rafters and shit.
Yeah, and he gets notes about...
Oh, yeah, they have the notes. Yeah,
we see you banging your mistress. We see you banging your wife.
Yep.
Of course I'm banging my
wife.
What
oh no, what am I to do?
Being watched.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Can't let this out. Can't let the world know that I've been banging my wife.
The mistress you could hide. That note you could get rid of.
It's expected if you're that rich, I would assume.
Rich and Japanese.
Yeah.
Japanese have a very loose...
well, as long as you're paying for it.
As long as it's not love and it's just sex, in Japan they don't really care so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick's like...
Japan's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Japanese wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
He eventually has a conversation with his old wet nurse. So this is the woman that kind of raised the person that he's impersonating.
Yes.
And she has a picture drawn exactly of the place that he had seen.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "It's that island where your dad lives still."
Yeah.
And he's spending all this money doing whatever it is he's doing. So he's like, "We have to go to the island."
And the other old guy's like, "No, we can't go there. He's going to ask for more money.
Yeah,
it's going to bankrupt us."
Money, yeah.
And that's when I was intrigued. Like, what is this man spending this money on out here on this island?
Oh, we're about to find out. We're about to find out what old dad's spending money on this fucking island. So, and his wife dies.
Yeah, wife dies.
Mysteriously, she dies.
I did like how she's coughing up blood. And he's like, "Oh, let me pour water down your throat."
Yeah.
That makes sense. Put
Right
more
out of the tea
liquid
kettle,
in you.
just boom. Might be hot. I don't know.
But yeah, immediately after wife's dead, he's like, we're going to go to the island. So he's got, it's him, it's his concubine, it's the older servant guy, and it's the new younger guy that's working for him.
Yeah,
The manservant.
weird dude.
The big square face.
All he does is make sure the bath's hot.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
He's
his only
the
job.
If you got money
Yeah.
like that, hell.
So-
I'd hire just the bath man.
They take a boat out to the island. They immediately see fucking creepy fish Jesus dad
Yeah.
on the shore.
He's dancing around.
And his fucking,
so
he's
like,
wearing a woman's dress.
It's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing, son? I told you. I told you not to come out here. And he's like, I had to come out here, Dad. I know there's something going on.
There's something going on.
some
My wife just
fishy-
died. I got some letters.
Yeah.
Some things need to be explained.
His dad's like, I will show you the world I built. It's like
25 years.
Come on over here.
It's so they're just like it's like this like into the heart of darkness kind of thing where like these people are going into this island being guided by his fucking twitchy fish dad. And then it's like immediately we see all these women with chains around their necks, like on hands and knees in this
being
field,
beaten.
and they're being beaten,
Getting whipped forward
with sticks and whips by these guys,
By these malformed
and they're just
men.
like, and they're just like walking through, like
Yeah, all
this
of
is a
them
big
like,
field. It's a huge field
Yeah.
with these women. Just
why?
why are they out in this field? What are they doing?
Yeah.
I don't
Just
know.
waiting for visitors. All right, we got him. All right, showtime, everybody. Come on
We've
now.
waited so long.
25 years for this moment.
And there's like, you get on a fucking boat, and there's all these naked women swimming in the water, and he's like throwing pieces of bread to them, and they're like jumping up, like
Just eating it.
eating this
You got the one chick on the front of the boat,
Oh,
just
yeah,
laying on
spread
her back
eagle.
with her legs
gold
open.
painted spread
Yeah.
eagle.
Yep.
She's
Just
like,
holding up some fire.
yeah. And then there's just naked women everywhere. There's like these ugly hunchbacks, just
Yeah.
like beating them,
And weird looking people with, like, I guess rice and bandages all over them. Some in cages being fed grass that he's feeding them.
oh yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta go into more
yeah,
detail.
yeah.
But there's like outside, there's like these people on stakes, just like
Oh yeah, just
bound up.
Bound up. We're just
Oh
gonna
yeah,
move
they're
him
like
from
carrying
here.
them to by the river. Just
Yeah.
boom, put them right there.
We're just gonna move him from here to over there.
You see these fucking bald guys floating face
Yeah.
down, tied up with like this wood structure, like coming up out of the water,
Yeah.
and then they're just like, and then some of these guys are carrying or like pulling these women that are on stakes, like
Yeah.
up out of the ground, and they're like moving and like throwing these
Moving
bodies.
5 feet. You know.
Yeah, stacking these bodies up and shit.
Fish Dad's so happy, and everybody else is like,
Everybody's just like, do you think this is weird? Because I think this is pretty fucking weird.
This
This is
is
what he's been spending the fucking money on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bankrupting our house for fucking fish women.
But yeah, they go to this thing you're talking
Yeah.
about where there's like all these cages,
Yeah.
and there's just these like fucking grotesque, malformed.
Yeah,
cow
malformed.
women.
They're like
At
all
one-
very white. Can't see their face really.
Yeah, they're
A
like
lot of them are,
covered
like,
in
wrapped
paint,
up.
and
At
they're
one point, isn't there like some women tied to like goats and shit? or
Oh,
something?
yeah,
the
yeah.
goat thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that one woman. That
ass to ass with
yes.
the goat.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can get the other one, but not the ass to ass to goat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's just like,
I remembered that. There was a little proto-human centipede there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ass to ass
Being
goat.
sewn
She
to
looks
animals.
so happy.
And they're all like bleeding or mooing and shit in
What
the
was
cages.
the other one? Because there was another girl like attached to a goat.
it's like
Was
it
it
was
ass
It
like,
was like a
to face to
centaur.
goat?
yeah, because
Yeah.
she was like in the front.
Yeah.
and it was like tied up to her back.
Yeah.
All fucking.
The idea was like what we learned later. It's like their bodies had been grafted together,
Right, yeah.
basically.
With times back then.
very rudimentary improvised surgery.
Yeah.
but yeah, so we're in that room, and then we're seeing like there's another one that's got like that red room, and then all the people have these fucking tubes coming out.
Oh yeah,
It's like a lot of body
Into each other. and
awkward.
stuff.
Yeah, this like gross body horror where
So,
they're like stood
yeah.
up and like bent into these odd shapes, and you got all these tubes coming out. They're all fucking naked.
So
and,
right before that, that's when he realizes dude's his twin brother or something like that. Because dad,
So
Dad,
we find out
uh,
that Dad's basically been winging it on the surgeries until the son that he sent off to Tokyo
Yep.
right.
to be a surgeon's intern to come back and bring the family practice, tie everything
Yes. Yeah.
together.
So
It's like, I've been fucking winging it. Let's just
his dream. So his dad's dream
yeah,
is to make the world ugly like he is.
yes,
So he wants to have as many deformed people as possible. He has our main character who was going to college to become a surgeon. He wanted him to come back and then start doing surgeries on people to disfigure them.
and dad still thinks he's the rich son.
Yeah, he switched
Yeah,
places.
and he's like, yeah, I sent your brother off 25 years ago to become a surgeon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
just
like,
wait
he's
till
going
he
to come
gets
and
back.
deform you. And he's
Yeah.
like, wait, that's me. That's
Yeah.
me. I don't want to be
I was
deformed.
fooling. My bad.
I don't want to be deformed.
While dad pulls out a gun
Just
out of nowhere.
yeah, materializes a revolver out of nowhere.
I'm the
Out of
only
that
one
kimono,
with a
you
gun.
know.
Yeah.
Just boom.
It was so funny. It's just like, just all of a sudden he's like, it was
What?
like, it seems so out of place to me. This fucking fish man, fish Jesus.
Fish man.
It's just like, so yeah, he's like, his whole master plan was to disfigure the world, to have, and he even said at another point, he locked up his mother, our main
Yes.
character's mother. He locked her in a fucking cage because she cheated on him with her whatever.
With the non-disfigured
Yeah.
individual.
And he's like, I sent a hunchback to rape your mother, and that's where she came from.
Your sister.
Your sister, who you just
Oh,
banged.
yeah.
Because
There's that you just separated.
So
from
we
the
find
person.
out that the ugly face and the woman that was singing to him,
that were attached
they were
together.
Siamese people that were attached together. So
Yeah.
he's like, okay, let me split them up real quick.
Yeah.
Splits them up, and then of course naturally he's just like, let me bang.
A month later, he had been
You
living
gotta
there.
wait for the recovery.
Yeah, he falls in love with his.
His-
What we find out is
There
his
is
own
a
sister.
study about that. Siblings that are separated that far apart and then they find each other.
Yeah.
Strong connection where that does happen. Biological.
logical.
We're not talking about Pornhub.
Logical.
Oh, stepbrother, you're stuck in the
Oh.
in the dryer.
Stepbrother.
I know
can
how to get
borrow
you out.
$60.
Yeah.
Oh, stepbrother, I just need some ammunition.
Yeah. I'll do whatever you want for the ammunition.
It's a future currency.
Gunpowder and lead.
Gunpowder and lead. You gotta invest in.
Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways,
back to the
So he
video.
splits the Siamese twins,
Bangs her.
bangs her, and then
We
finds
forget
out
about
that
Gross man.
yeah.
He's gone. One of the always happens whenever you do a split on a Siamese is one of them
Oh yeah,
dies.
one of them. Yeah.
well, we got rid of
It's
the ugly
usually.
kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's usually the
Yeah.
ugly one.
Yeah, we got rid of him. His face peeling off or whatever was going on with him.
Fucking freak.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point, everything is kind of in the open now. It's just like, he just wants his fucking malformed army.
Yeah.
Dude just wants to bang his sister and get out. But then also get his mom out, who's been chained in a cage
yeah.
for
He's
25
like,
years.
you want to see your mom?
Yeah.
I got your
He
mama
tells a
right
story
here.
about how she lived off of crabs that were eating her lover's body.
She eats it so good.
She was
Yeah.
going deep on
As
the
she
fucking
should,
live
to be
crabs.
honest,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was impressive.
Crabs and insects. I would like to try a live crab one time. See
Yeah.
how that works.
Like a soft shell crab, just
Yeah, just
Like a
munch on
Meyer
it.
alert.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll feel sick the next day just because it's all liquidy on the inside.
Ooh.
It's
Well, you
not
gotta
cooked.
clean it. You
I
gotta
think
prep
I'd
it.
just eat the legs. I don't know if I'm gonna just.
I mean,
eat
if
the
they're
whole-
that
all
small,
the
I
organ.
would do the whole thing.
I don't know.
You don't eat the brain of the crab?
I mean, yeah, but you gotta clean it, bro. You gotta get the crab poop out of there. It's like that time I made shrimp Alfredo, but didn't prep the shrimp.
She was stuck in a cave for 20 years.
All right, well, when that
don't think
happens
she's
to
worried
you,
about poop.
Tell me about
And
the
a
freaking
crab.
crabs you eat out of your freaking estranged lover.
Here's the part I don't particularly like. So we've got the one servant guy, the fire stoker guy,
Yeah.
square face guy that obviously was a fucking cop.
Yep.
He goes to this long thing explaining every single part of what was going on in the movie, complete with flashbacks and
a whole flashback that could be a whole episode of itself.
Yeah, he's just explaining in painful detail.
He's like, "Hey, it's concubine and this other old man. You were doing all this crazy stuff. Never mind, super rich fish guy over here."
Yeah, they have their own scheme going to try to steal his money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you went to all that work like he did, like he was in like 3 different towns chasing down all these different people. He had followed, because all the women that were chained up and being whipped forward or swimming around in the lake, they all had to come from somewhere.
Yeah, so that's
they put out
he
a Tokyo,
on to.
Tokyo Classified talking about, we need a bunch of women for some bullshit. Like, he had done a lot of footwork to get to where he was there. I probably would have went on a nice monologue about it too. That was a lot of work.
In a cave.
He wanted some recognition.
In a cave, in a train.
Because he said he liked solving crimes more than eating.
He did.
So,
he said that in the third person too. Let me tell you a story about a man. He had a candle, not a gun.
More than eating.
We immediately learned it's him. Obviously.
It's a guy with 2 thumbs. It's me. This guy.
But
he figures it all out, and Fish Jesus dude was like, "Well, I got a gun, so it don't matter."
Yeah, I would have said the same thing.
I took the bullets out, and then drops them. When did he get the bullets?
He's just that
during the monologue.
He's a good cop. He's a good cop.
He's an amazing cop. So they fucking somehow Fishman and his wife that he's had chained in a cave for 25 years reconcile at the very end. Some reason he dies. It doesn't say why.
I guess he had like an arsenic tooth just in case, because he knew what was happening.
He literally just spits blood and collapses. There's nothing that says
his
why
sorrows have finally.
Yeah, it doesn't say that at all.
Yeah.
Why that happens, and then she runs up and she's like, "Anata,
I'm sorry."
She's like on him.
Still love you.
She's got a new body to eat crabs up out of.
But our main character and his sister,
they wrote a note pretty quick too.
Wrote her a note that said, "We're gonna go jump on these explosives that were set up around them." Even though we didn't know about these at all.
Yeah,
we had no idea about these explosives.
Well, because at one point he had said, "If I hit, they're chasing him before he gets into the cave."
They didn't know about these
explosives. He didn't say it to them; they were gone already.
Yeah, they were already gone off on their own thing.
Yeah, they had left.
Yeah,
he said that later to the
because
the cop.
Detective was chasing.
He said, "I'm going to blow up this whole
island."
Yeah.
Yeah,
they didn't know anything about this, and they're
maybe because that was the Siamese. She might have known about the explosives. I mean,
I'm
kind of drawing
conclusions.
But
that would make sense.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but all of a sudden, fireworks explosions.
So we're gonna go make love on top of the fireworks because we can't get away from each other, even though we're brother and sister.
Yeah. The cheesiest. Their bodies in the sky, like
explode.
The fucking heads.
The heads floating.
And then the heads like. And then the two hands holding, and they're like floating through the air like this. Like,
the heads are screaming "mother."
They're screaming "mother" over and over again. And that's the end of the movie. That's the end of the movie.
Unspeakable love.
So
the
many
world could not handle.
No.
Yeah. So many twists and turns in this movie. It goes from like, okay, this is an interesting, creepy kind of horror movie to what the fuck am I seeing right now? All at once. And definitely some of it is. You're like, wow, let's go scores.
Yeah, scores 5. Giving it 5. Don't give a lot of 60 movies 5s, but I enjoyed this one. It was weird in all the right places. Had the mystery that kept me involved with it, and then it just got weird, and like the weirdness of it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 5 for me too. A lot of the picks recently have been 5s, and I almost feel bad for it, but I don't. These have been some really good films, and this one was just fucking wild. I loved it. The 60s, especially if you. I try to consider what it would have been like to watch it in 1970. You know,
incest.
well, incest, but like they got all like this was like proto Saw. This is before all these kind of like let's see what we can do with these modern special effects. Like this is what they were working with.
Yeah.
This would have been horrifying to see in 1969 in theaters.
Oh
like,
yeah.
So if you watch the extras to this movie, the guy that made Tokyo Gore Police, watched this when he was a kid.
Okay.
And this was one of those movies
I could see
he would
that,
sneak into the theater with his friends and watch over and over again.
Especially like that surgery scene thing with the girls with the organs outside of them and stuff. Yeah, I definitely see that.
Yeah.
This is a 5 for me. It was a really good film. I enjoyed watching it.
I feel like it's almost like we water down our scoring by giving 5 so much, but hey, we got good fucking taste, and we look for these.
We know
movies.
how to pick bangers.
Yeah, we look for this shit. So I'm gonna
2
go
of
5
us
too.
do.
I think it could have a little. I think the beginning could have a little bit cut out of it when he's like in this house and he's trying to work his like way into that family.
Oh, it would have been better. Just immediately just started banging all of them.
That,
I know. He was trying to hold off. He's like,
She knows his body.
Yeah.
She knows how he is.
She was fine.
We could have some jokes about his penis size or something,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Shut the fuck up."
It's gotten bigger or it's gotten smaller. I don't remember that.
I was in the pool.
I was almost dead. I almost died.
Lost penis size.
Shut up! And just stuffs her face in the pillow.
Just turkey.
Yeah.
I
So,
can't feel it.
I think it could be a little bit shorter, the beginning specifically, but just there's so much random crazy shit once they get to that island, and it's just all that body horror stuff. Some of it is pretty creepy. Like your wife was like, "I'm not going to sleep tonight," you know, and it. For a normal person like her, I can see why that it would disturb people. For degenerates like us, it's like I've seen worse.
I respect it,
but it's still creepy. It is creepy.
Yeah.
It is creepy, and especially for being a movie from 1969, it's definitely out there with kind of this like you're just looking at these fucking, and you're thinking about what would it be like to be this person that's like just living in this fucking cage, and you've been experimented on, and you're eating fucking grass out of this weirdo's hand.
So happy.
There it is. Horrors of Malformed Men.
Yeah.
It's Arrow Video. Definitely should watch it. It's great. It might be on Prime too. I don't
Probably.
know,
I think most
you
of
can watch it on
stuff.
YouTube for $1.99.
Oh,
Don't
look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. I think Arrow's got a streaming service too now. It may be on there. Whatever. Look it up. Find it. Watch it. Nick's got a contest for 300 subscribers. Don't forget. We're on our way up there.
It's happening.
Chef's choice for Nathan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look at
I'm
that
gonna
fist
hurt
right
Nick.
there. He's got that. He's right there
Hurt Nick
with
in
it.
some way. Maybe I'll just put this cigar out on his face. I don't know. We'll see.
I said no face. That was the
ruled.
one.
It was no face.
I was at least
though.
smart
Sorry.
enough to make one
Put this
single
out.
stipulation.
I'll put the cigar out right on his nipple.
Or his dick. It's gotta have
I
penis
should've
on it.
rolled out. I
I
should've-
don't
okay.
want to touch
Your
see his
cigar
face.
would. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
still blindfolded, like pin the donkey.
The tail of the dog.
Why are there no beans at this restaurant? Here's one.
All right, there you
All
go.
right, that's been a review.
Yeah. Give a thumbs up until you can get all the way down to the end of that long ass table.